Hi everyone. Today I want to share this really sweet little Christmas card, and it uses these pretty poinsettia dies, and I really love these dies. I've used them a ton over the weekend, and I wanted to show a few different videos using them actually, because I thought it would be too long of a video if I showed you everything I did at once. I just used it for several days straight and really enjoyed using these dies. So I wanted to show you this card. It's pretty simple, but I just thought I would give some tips and tricks for using these gold hoop embellishments, because they're really fun and I think they're getting missed. I haven't sold a lot of them and I think they're really pretty. I bought several packs because they came out in the new annual calendar that came out, and I thought that I would be holding classes and I was gonna for sure use these in a class because I thought they were so pretty, and then I'm not holding classes because of COVID right now. So I wanted to share them because I think they're not getting seen, and I know that if I had shared these in a class I would have sold some because they're just so pretty. It's really thin. That's kind of another thing, is when I first got them I thought, oh, how is that going to go through the mail? And it's a metal ring, but it's very flat. It stays flat. It's very nice, and I think it would easily mail. And I mean, it's not even as tall as some of our gems, you know, our little sequins and gems. It's very thin ring, so it's not too thin where it's gonna lose its shape. You know, it's just a really nice little embellishment. I really enjoyed it. I bought it kind of on a whim, and I really like it. So a few ways to use it. Here's on another card. So I thought I would show you. This is the one I made at the beginning of the catalog period. Looks like I lost my bow on this. I'll have to redo that. But this is the same card essentially, but I've just kind of changed it and made it for Christmas. Okay, so let's get to work on this. A few things I want to point out. My background paper is from the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper, and you can't tell that because it's just got the wood grain. I love how on some of our busier patterned paper that the backs have kind of a more easy to go on anything paper, like this one, the wood grain. So this is from the Poinsettia Place, and that is being discontinued and retired tomorrow, this paper. But you can use a different background paper if this one sells out fast. This die is also going on sale and being discontinued tomorrow, but again, you can choose a different die. I really like this die, so I'm going to point it out. It's one of these little slim dies, so obviously it couldn't use an entire background, or you could, but it'd be really hard to line up. And I think it is really nice that they have some of these slimline little folders, because they're inexpensive. You get two, and it's the same, you know, two are the same price as one. You get two different patterns, and often you're just using a little bit anyway. So I used, this is the pack together, and it's called, oh, what is it called? Wrapped in Cheer, I think. Wrapped in texture folders. And you can't, I mean, it's probably hard on video, but this is like a small tight basket weave, and then this is these cute little dots, which I thought kind of had a Christmassy feel with the snowflakes, maybe, I don't know, cute little dots. So that's what's being used here. And then another paper I want to point out is this red velvet paper. Now this is only available in the holiday mini catalog, so once the catalog season is over, the red velvet paper is going to go away. They did tell us it's going to come back next holiday, so it'll be kind of gone for a few months until next July, and then it'll come back. So if you want to grab some of this red velvet paper, that would be a good idea, because I think that would be nice for Valentine's too. It's really a nice soft little paper. Okay, and I think that's it. So let's make this card. Oh, another thing. So many things. I'm kind of rambling, but there's so many things happening tomorrow going on sale. And this ribbon combo pack, it's a pack that gives you a red and a green. Let's see if I have them on my desk. Here's the green, and here's the red buried. And it's a combo pack, and it's from the Trimming the Town suite. So I've got a lot of different suites going on. And that ribbon is also going to be retiring tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I say tomorrow, I'm talking about December 8th. And that one is going to be 50% off. So a lot of these embellishments are going to be on sale. This ribbon pack I think is going to go fast because, I mean, red and green with gold accent is going to go fast, and 50% off. So you're going to want to grab some of these. So if you're seeing this video on December 7th, be sure to go to the Stampin' Up! Website on December 8th, or even midnight Mountain Time on that day, and grab this ribbon combo pack and some of these other items quickly, because I think they'll go out. But if you missed out on this ribbon, this card is still makeable, and I think you can, you know, easily substitute some of these ribbons and embossing folders and things like that. But if you can grab the sale, the embossing folders are going half off, the paper's going 30% off, and the ribbon's going to be half off. So grab it while you can. Okay, these dies, however, are not going to be on sale. They are carrying over into the next annual catalog, and I'm so happy about that because I really enjoyed playing with them. Okay, that is enough rambling. Sorry about that. The first thing I want to do is emboss my piece of Very Vanilla, and this is cut 3 by 4 inches, and I just slipped it here and ran it through my machine. And then I've got another piece of Very Vanilla, and then I've got this wood grain from the back of a Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. I'm going to go ahead and mount those right away. Okay, now I don't want to put this one down just yet because I want to put my ribbon behind. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this red and one of the gold hoops. And you're just going to go ahead and, I wanted it to look like a wreath that was hanging because it's kind of a Christmassy card. Now you can decide that you don't need it to do that, but I like it that way. And then I just want to tape these down so they don't move. And the easy way for me to do that is with tear tape, because it's sitting right here on my desk. So like so. Alright, so you've got your gold hoop. Now another thing that I think you should do with this is glue this down so it doesn't move. Also, there's a tiny little seam, you can barely see it, so put that somewhere where you're not going to see it. Like I'm going to have some flowers over here, so I'm going to put it over there, or you could put it under your ribbon. And so just to glue this down, just so it doesn't wiggle on you when you're trying to move it, you can grab a glue dot and just put it under somewhere where you're not going to see it, because you're going to layer your embellishments just to stabilize it for a second. The embellishments getting put on top are going to stabilize it even more, but this is just kind of a good way to get it down. And then this is the time when I'm going to attach it to my base, because again, I don't want it moving around, and once you've got layers on here, it's even harder, and you don't want to squish your pretty layers when you turn it upside down. When I emboss on a piece of paper that's got a lot of texture on it with this, I mean, there's so many little dots, I don't like to necessarily run my tape runner across, because sometimes that can, I mean, the paper's kind of been distressed a little bit. So I use a liquid glue on this layer. So let's go ahead and put that down. Okay. And now let's work on those poinsettias. So the red velvet paper is really pretty, and it's soft, and it just has a nice texture, almost like the leaves on a poinsettia plant feel kind of velvety too, don't they? So this is perfect for poinsettias. And how do you say that? Poinsettias? Poinsettias? I don't know. Now I want to give you a tip for this. When you're cutting out using this, of course it needs to be cut down because it's 12 by 12 to fit in your your cut and emboss machine. You need to kind of cut it down. So I've cut it to 6 inches, and then the dies are kind of large, so you want to find a way to fit them on your sheet as tightly as you can. So just going to start in a corner and see which leaf of the petal gets tightly into a corner. Now I did not put down, so I run it through the first time without these little without the smallest of the flowers, because even if you get these as tight as you possibly can, you're probably gonna, like, I can probably get a mini flower out of there if I play around with a little bit. And you're going to be able to find places where you can get a small flower, whereas you're not going to be able to do that with the large one. So I kind of do the large flowers first, and then I throw it in again and see, can I get a big one here? Yes, so I'm going to use that, but then maybe I can now, and if you turn them, sometimes you can get even more, so because they're not exact, you know, they're not perfectly shaped. What am I trying to say? They're almost, but you can sometimes get a petal up into a corner and cut them out that way. So they give you, Stampin' Up! Gave you 2 of the smaller ones, so just kind of find areas where you can cut them out. I think I can get one over here. Yep, okay, so I'm going to cut this through again. So I'm just kind of finding places, and then take it one step further and grab, you know, you've got places where you couldn't, I think I can get one out of there, but not over here. Grab a heart punch or something, and I'll show you. I was able to punch out some little hearts, and I've got 2 different shaped heart punches, but I just punched out a bunch of little hearts, and I stuck them in a, you know, one of my empty containers here, and then I've got little hearts that I can use on Valentine's Day or something, rather than throw it away. Isn't that, I mean, I realize it's maybe a little silly, but it just gets every little inch of my velvet paper used up. So anyway, now that I've got a bunch of these cut out, I want to show you a way to kind of puff them up a little even more. So I thought I would show you a large one and a small one, because these large poinsettias are gorgeous, and I just wanted to show you how to do those as well. So you can curl them nicely with your bone folder, and on this one I kind of did 2 different curls, and I'll show you how I did that. First, I went facing with my bone folder on the velvet part and put it so the petals turn up a little bit, and then I went back over it this time on the other way so the petals turn down, so it kind of gives a ripple in the leaf. When you go just flat down like I did on these, they kind of cup downward, and they don't look as big, whereas on this one, so these are the same flowers, but here I did what I just showed you, an up and a down, and here I just did down, and it's just not as puffy. So I thought I like the up and the down of this one. So you kind of just go up one way and then down, up. Now with the smaller ones, it's a little harder to do because they're so tiny. But I still think it's worth doing. It really does give them a little more character. All right, last one. Now you also want to take the smallest ones and give yourself a green of some kind. So I'm going to use garden green and some scraps. See if I have another scrap. And cut yourself 2 with the green. I found a bigger scrap. Okay, before you cut it, just give your paper a little spritz of water. I want to do it off to the side here so I don't get it on my project, but just a little spritz of water. I have a little Stampin' spritzer on my desk, and it just helps give the veins inside the die. There's these little tiny veins, and they look, they stand out more if you spritz your water, and it kind of helps the fibers take to the die. See how you can see that veining? Really cute. Okay, and then I've cut them so they have a 3 and a 2. Like so. Now also in your Poinsettia dies is this little sprig die, and I've cut myself a couple gold sprigs out of some gold foil paper. And in case you didn't see my Poinsettia Place recap video, or showcase video, however you want to call it, I just want to show you the whole set real quick. There's just a lot going on. I mean, look at all the dies you get with this. Really nice. I don't even know how they go back on here. There's so many. Okay, and here's another one. Okay, so I cut 2. I think I only ended up using 1, but let's assemble. So I took this little sprig and just cut it down a little bit because I only wanted a few kind of poking up from the top and a few poking up from the bottom. So you can kind of cut your sprigs like so. And then you're going to just layer it. And these I've tucked under the hoop. So you can use a liquid glue or glue dot, whatever you like, you think is easier. And you're going to kind of tuck it underneath your hoop. And then here's some more. And you can use both of these. Kind of put them together if you want. And again, add just, oops, that's a little too much glue. And tuck it. And I'm going to use this last one. So you've got your little gold that's going to come popping out. And then you're going to do the same thing with your little greenery pieces. Now here you might want to start putting, you might want to put your poinsettias together just so you know how big they are and how far apart you need to put your greenery. So again, I layered these with a glue dot. And on the larger ones, I layered them with dimensionals because I thought I wanted to give them a little more height. This one I want to not give so much height. Alright, so you want to kind of lay out your greenery pieces. You want to make sure that they can still be seen behind that flower. So kind of lay them out and then do a little double check. Make sure you left yourself enough space. I think I did. So now I can glue those down. This one under the gold. There we go. Alright, so now we've got that. And now we're going to just add our little velvet flowers. Now on here I wanted to make sure they stayed down, so I used 2 glue dots on each one. You can use a hot glue gun, would be good for this as well. Okay, so now you want to find a small sentiment. Now if you're buying the Poinsettia Petals stamp set and dies, there are some smaller sentiments in there. Let me see if I can find my stamps. So on the one here, I used Warm Wishes, but I used a marker to omit the From Our Home to Yours. And there's a small Happy Holidays and different things like that. But then I had on my desk kind of a stamping staple, the Itty Bitty collection. There's Itty Bitty Birthday, Itty Bitty Greetings, and Itty Bitty Christmas. So here's the Christmas one, and I thought I would pick one of these. I really like the font on here, Season's Greetings, really pretty. So I thought I would choose one of these for this one. And I was going to go with, is that too long? Let me see how big my scrap is. I always have little scraps of paper in my folders. There we go. My little paper packs. And I like to use up those scraps. Okay, and then I like to use early espresso when I'm working with kind of neutrals as a substitute to black. A lot of times greetings are done in black, and I kind of like to mix it up with the early espresso instead sometimes. And then just a simple end to this one. Sometimes you can do a little flagged end, but this is just going to have a little clipped end like so. And then this is going to further help steady your hoop, because you can put a little dimensional on either side, kind of bridge the hoop. And then you know it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now last touch, I want to add a little center to my poinsettias, and there's so many options here, but one that I thought was particularly pretty is this one. It's called Wonderful Gems, and the little dots are clear or red, and then they have like glitter inside them. So it's not a full-on glitter. It's kind of nice. It looks like a little flower center, I thought anyway. So let me grab those. There you go. There are our little poinsettias on a wreath. Super cute and easy. Now I want to put together a larger poinsettia just because I think they're so pretty, and I thought I would show you how to put them together. Like I said, I showed you how I like to puff them up, and then I like to make them in a variety. So for example, this one has 2 of the largest flower, but only 1 of the second largest, and kind of down from there. This one only has 1 of the largest flower, but then 2 of the medium, and you kind of mix them up that way they don't all look exactly the same. And I put a dimensional in between so they get even more height, and they just look so pretty, and I think they are going to be really nice on a little hairpiece for my daughter, just to wear for Christmas. Not that anybody's going to see her this year at Christmas. There is no Christmas little children's pageant at church this year, but that's okay. We're going to get dressed up anyway and hang out at our own little tree, and just layer them if you want. You can do a bunch of layers. Here I did less layers, and then just go crazy. And then you can add a little small one to the middle if you want. And then these little beaded pearls are gorgeous, and they're going to be part of the sale. If you end up not being able to grab one of these on the 8th, there's other little centers you can put in there. Imagine some other little pearls that you can add. So I hope that you like the video. I hope maybe you'll check out some of this red velvet paper and the Poinsettia Dies. They're just gorgeous. I'm so happy they're going to be around next year as well. I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of these. So there you go, red velvet paper poinsettias. Thanks for watching.